Alright guys, we're back once again. CouchPotatoGM.com is the website. Couch Potato General Manager is the YouTube channel. You know it because you on it. But we are here to get into the number 2 team in the draft.
Yes.
The San Francisco 49ers offseason preview.
I like that, man.
You like that?
Yeah,
nice.
man. But
Yeah.
before we get into that preview, we're going to give you a little recap of the 2018 season. The 49ers finished 4-12. You said the second pick in the draft. Injuries, man.
Yeah.
You know, this is the 49ers have 4 straight losing seasons. This is Kyle Shanahan's 3rd year. I'm going to give him a pass for last year, man. You lost your franchise quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo did the cutback. You know what I'm saying? Tore out his knee. I don't want to laugh, but, you know, let's leave that alone, man.
Okay.
Leave that
alone.
alone.
Go out of bounds, bro.
Yeah, you gotta get out of bounds.
That's what you got to do, man. Before that, though, Jerick McKinnon, he was hurt for the year. Matt Breida dealt with injuries. So there's a lot of injuries for San Francisco. Kyle Shanahan, the head coach, I think offensively they're on the right track. George Kittle, we say the best tight end in football.
I think he's on his way.
On his way to being the best tight end in football. Also, you know, you got to be encouraged by your running game, man. You're out there playing with Nick Mullins, CJ Beathard before that. That was worse than Nick Mullins. And you were able to still run the football, man. Your first-round pick, Mike McGlinchey, he held his own out there at right tackle. You got Joe Staley on the left side. You know, so you can run the football, and then defensively, that's where the issue lied. 35-2.
That's 35.
What that mean?
That's Pro Bowl season right there for a quarterback.
Yeah, that's an MVP season
for a quarterback. All pro right there.
But 35 touchdowns allowed by the 49ers, second most in the NFL. And 2 interceptions, the least by a lot in the NFL, man. 49ers didn't get turnovers, couldn't get their hands on the football. They run that 4-3 cover 3 scheme, and if you don't get pressure, you're gonna get picked apart by average quarterbacks. Any quarterback can pick apart a 4-3 cover 3 defense if you're not getting to him, man. And that was the Achilles heel for the 49ers. So
no, they had something else. They came down to Tampa, and their star linebacker.
Ooh,
you know, he committed a crime of some sort, got arrested, and the rest is history in terms of him being a 49er. And Henley said it earlier, man, you run in a zone scheme, you have to get to the quarterback, and I think most people in the league and you know 49ers fans, I know y'all know that you have a talented line, but the problem is there's not a pass rusher that can get around up and around that corner so you can get to the quarterback.
That dog, man.
You don't have him. They got a dog. What's his name?
Oh, that's in the middle.
Yeah, that's in the middle. But they need that guy that opposing offenses have to game plan for and have to worry about and have to chip and send that extra guy over. And to alleviate the pressure for those corners. I mean, Richard Sherman, he's not quite the Richard Sherman that you were all used to seeing, the all-pro, the superstar cornerback Richard Sherman, but he should be good enough.
He actually kind of
He was their best corner.
into shape.
He was their best corner.
I mean, yes.
By far,
yes,
too.
He was. He's not Richard Sherman, you know, in the conversation best cornerback in the league anymore, but he rounded into shape, and he was a quality starter for them.
Yeah.
But how about that other side?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, they went through Kilo Witherspoon, in and out the lineup, Jimmy Ward. They just tried everybody out there. Like, you get a turn, you get a turn. Yeah. I think they ended off with DJ Reed, their 5th-round draft selection, I believe. But, like you said, man, that dog, man, and that dog was supposed to be Solomon Thomas. Solomon Thomas was drafted, number 3 in the draft?
Yeah.
And he just is not getting it down on the edge, man. I know you had some opinions on that, Juice.
I think the issue with Solomon Thomas is that he's being played out of position. I think he's a smaller player, but he's an interior guy. He's not an edge rusher. I think they thought that he might be able to turn into an edge rusher. These are, you know, when you talk about the capital, the draft capital that they put into their defensive line, they put the resources there.
Buckner,
it's just Armstead, you know, and of course Thomas most recently, but it just hasn't worked outside of Buckner. Armstead has had flashes of being really good against the run, but he can't bend the edge. You know what I mean? And he's not consistent enough in the interior. Buckner, I think, I've mentioned it before, I think he's Calais Campbell-like, and he's probably going to become Calais Campbell-ish here in the next year or so, because he has that kind of ability. I think you're set with respect to him, but my thought process is to put Solomon Thomas in next to him and run some games. You know what I'm saying? The quickness that Solomon Thomas brings to the table, the leverage that he can play with in the interior, I think plays better for that defensive line. And then you can place an emphasis in terms of the draft maybe, or we'll see what free agency yields on the edge. Because as you mentioned, Headley mentioned, you don't have that dog on the edge. You got a Dante Fowler that might be available. You got guys who have proven the ability to bend the edge. Right now, they have no one who can actually bend the edge and threaten on the perimeter defensively.
You move back to the second level when you talk about the linebackers, like we talked about Reuben Foster, he's no longer there, and a guy who shined, who came on is Fred Warner, man. He showed up in a big way. That's one, the draft capital that bared some fruit this season.
Yeah. They need more of that. They need a lot more of that.
Exactly.
It's not as if they haven't been making those picks and trying to prioritize, the front seven.
Yeah.
The Reuben Foster situation is unfortunate. It's a really talented guy. He's got to get his together. You know what I mean? As far as the defensive line, I think certainly Buckner he's arrived. There's no question about that. Buckner just gets better every year, and he's overshadowed by another guy in that same division. But Buckner is one of the best interior defensive linemen in the league. Make no mistake about it. Solomon Thomas needs to be playing right next to him, as far as I'm concerned. They need more playmakers at the second level, certainly in the secondary, and they need that edge rush.
Yeah, man. And we talk about the cover 3 defense, man. What's the one of the biggest things you need at that cover 3 defense?
You need a Earl Thomas, a safety.
He's out there,
center fielder. He is out there, but we all know where he wants to play. It certainly isn't in Seattle.
But Richard Sherman is there.
Dallas ain't got no money.
Malcolm Smith is there.
Dallas ain't got no money.
This is true.
This is his guys, man.
This is true.
The Seattle South I think is what San Francisco is shaping up to be defensively. I think defensively, and it makes a lot of sense.
And you need speed on that defense, man. You need guys that you're not thinking out there. You need to run sideline to sideline. So I think more speed at the linebacker position is also needed, man. Yeah. So it's a lot of needs.
They're missing some speed, to your point, and overall, and they need more athleticism. Like you said, it's that cover 3 is supposed to be fast flowing. It's reacting. It's not a whole lot of reading. It's not a whole lot of diagnosing. It's just go and go get it. You know what I mean? Beat the guy across from you. You know what I mean? And make the play. And they just don't have the horses right now. And while we are encouraged by some of the talent that they do have on the defensive side of the ball, they're not necessarily being put in the ideal position as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, man.
Agree. And I just want to go back to the linebackers really quickly. Just in terms of for people out there talking about cover 3, they're not understanding. When you talk about the linebacker position, just go back to Seattle and think about Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright. You're looking for that type of linebacker. You got one in Fred Warner. We just got to find the other one. You had it, but he ain't there no more. But let's talk about the offense, and let's talk about the receiver position.
That's their one glaring need, man, because they got the offensive line, they got the McKinnon and Breida. That's a good combination.
What you mean? You ain't see the picture of Antonio Brown hugging Jerry Rice?
That's the one glaring need.
Yeah,
man. Antonio Brown.
As soon as they get Antonio Brown back. As soon as they get Antonio, the Steelers haven't given permission to Brown, his representative, to seek a trade at this juncture, but I think
it's going to happen.
I think it's headed that direction. Okay. I think it's headed that direction. The Steelers are trying to play, hardball. Don't want to necessarily give in. Don't want to cave to a player, because historically the Steelers don't pay what they're not willing to pay.
And they just did it for Le'Veon Bell.
Exactly.
Hardball with him.
Exactly.
So it's not out of the possibility to do the same thing to Antonio Brown.
And Brown's under contract. I mean, at the end of the day, he's under contract. So that whole situation has run its course. Yeah. And I think in terms of Mike Tomlin getting control of that team, that locker room again, as talented as Brown and Bell are, now that it's come to this, it may be time to move on and get something for him.
I agree, man. I agree.
But Brown would cost them, if I'm not mistaken, it would cost them, he's got $39 million left on his contract. It's $18 million. It would be $18 million of dead money to the Steelers, but they can split it up over 2 years.
Sure, prorated. Yeah.
So It's not a terrible deal for the Steelers. Just what are you willing to give up?
Yeah, that's the question for the 49ers, man. Is it a second-round pick? I know we played around with the possibility of switching first-round picks.
Swap the first-round
with
picks.
the Steelers and getting Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
So
you think that's too steep? Is that too steep for you, Hadley?
They're 20. They're number 20.
2 to 20.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown.
I think it's going to be Antonio. It's going to be 2 to 20 and something. The Steelers going to have to give you something else.
Something back, some more draft capital.
Yeah.
If I get more draft capital, I'll move to 20. It's a deep defensive draft. And getting Antonio Brown, that's probably something, I'll entertain, man. So, definitely that's the one need. They got the Pettis and the Marquise Goodwin. Those are good wide receiver 2s and 3s.
And they're saying Pierre Garçon
he's gone.
He's not coming back.
Yeah, he's gone. So Antonio Brown is that missing piece to that offense, man. And that would be a scary offense in Kyle Shanahan's system.
Could you imagine?
That's scary. I like it.
I mean, you got the two-headed monster. That would assuming Jerick McKinnon comes back healthy. I think McKinnon obviously being there helps Breida, who's impressive when he's on the field, keep him healthy as well. The whole system, Gary Kubiak zone running scheme has always been successful too. So yeah, and they got what is quickly becoming the best tight end in the league as well. So Kyle Shanahan, clearly offensively, his play calling, his ability to develop quarterbacks. I think they even found a solid backup in Nick Mullins.
No, I agree.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I think they need to make this Antonio Brown thing happen because I know the Rams obviously they took a big swing at it. They're not going to be constituted the same way, but it's still their best players are still young players. Yeah. Their core is intact outside of Whitworth, who probably will be able to play until he's 40. I think the 49ers need to strike while the iron's hot.
They're in good shape, man. And I know we talked about some offseason moves, the Earl Thomases, the Dante Fowler maybe, Antonio Brown. Let's talk about draft, man. Yeah. They got the number 2 pick. Say they don't trade that number 2 pick to get Antonio Brown.
They trade the second round pick instead of the first round.
Yeah, say they do that, man. And that number 2 pick, what are you guys looking for, man?
I mean, this is an ideal spot for Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
It's an ideal spot. I'm a big Josh Allen fan. I know it says outside linebacker / defensive end, but I think he can play in a 4-3-3-4. I don't think it really matters. I actually think he's my number 1 prospect, by the way. With the number 2 pick, I mean, that's
you draft that end and you move
Solomon Thomas inside.
So you got a Nick Bosa, Solomon Thomas, Buckner, and an Armstead on the other side.
So you got sexy on one side and you got anchors on the other side.
I think Armstead, I'm not, at this juncture, I haven't seen enough from Armstead to constitute an extension.
Yeah. I think he's more of a first, second down player, and then you bring in this pass rushing specialist.
But I don't even think he's great. To me, he's not good enough at that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think he's still a young guy. He's still a young guy. He's going to have value, whatever the case may be. But I don't know that he should be necessarily at the top of your list in terms of what you want to build on moving forward.
Okay.
Yeah, but this move, that drafting that edge rusher is designed, in my estimation, and what would probably end up happening is Armstead gets slid inside and Solomon Thomas stays on the outside. To me, Solomon Thomas, I would like to think that he is part of the long-term aspect. So put him in a position to be successful. Grab whoever you feel is the best edge rusher at number 2, assuming you got Brown with the second round pick, and you go from there. At that point, maybe you actually have a pass rush, you have someone else other than DeForest Buckner, actually getting to the quarterback, affecting the quarterback. You generate some more turnovers, you get the ball to that, what we anticipate will be an explosive offense, and you got a shot.
There you go, man. There you go, 49ers fan. We gave you the sauce. Hashtag 49ers faithful. That's your 2019 off-season preview.
Give your boy a shout out, man.
John Niner, shout out to you, man. Loyal listener of the YouTube channel.
Sorry for the delay, John Niner. We apologize.
Yeah, man. Like, comment, subscribe.